Now, here's the interesting thing whenever I go to a Chamber of Commerce meeting, because I've been to many in the past, is that when I receive somebody's business card, it's very difficult to understand how to be able to connect with somebody based off of their preferred method of communication. Raise your hand if you're on Facebook. In fact, turn to the person next to you and ask them real nicely, will you be my friend? Or are they on LinkedIn? Or are they on Twitter? Because it's not so much the time that you spend with us together as a group, but it's how we extend the relationship afterwards. So let me ask you this question. And here's where you put down your knife and your fork and you bring out your cell phone. Actually, bring out your cell phone, wave it high in the air and say, look at this.
Hey, Doug, look at this.
Hey, there you go. Thank you, Andy. So here's what I'd like for you to be able to do. This is a question that I want you to be able to answer, so you're going to send a text message. So if you access your phone right now, what I'd like for you to be able to do is pull out your text message application and text a code to this specific number. The code, like you're going to send me a text message, you send a text message to 37607. So if you would, please do that quickly for me right now. And the question you're going to ask is, how many referrals did you receive in the last month from a fellow Chamber of Commerce member? So how many referrals did you receive from a Maryland Heights Chamber of Commerce member? So what you're going to do is you're going to bring out your cell phone, you're going to text message the answer. So the answer, like the code, when you actually type in the message, is this number. So one person says 0 is how many referrals that they received. So 4 people received 0. 3 people received 1 to 2 referrals from another Chamber of Commerce member. Wow, someone received 5+ referrals from another Chamber of Commerce member. Isn't that interesting? And you can start to see how the numbers start to increase. And you have to wonder why are these individuals not receiving it? Now, the beauty of doing this live polling is a secret. I'm not asking you to raise your hand, because no one would want to admit they haven't received any referrals, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Whenever you go to a Chamber of Commerce meeting, would you go up and say, Aaron? Okay, hey Aaron, how are you? Can you send me a referral? Because I think you might know somebody in the mortgage industry might be able to help. Can you send me a referral? You would? You don't even know me. You don't even know. You don't even know. Oh yeah, you like my handshake. Well, that's the problem. So many times, especially with social networking. When we ask before we give. You know, it's like going on Facebook. Remember the very first time you got on Facebook? You know, you didn't know how to word it. You said, will you be my friend? Will you be my friend? I went to high school with them. Will you be my friend? Went to college with them. Will you be my friend? Oh, she looks cute. Will you be my friend? And we ended up adding all these friends that we didn't necessarily know. And then maybe you start asking for business. One of my favorite lines from Jeff Turner says, if you suck at networking face-to-face, you're probably going to suck at networking online. So the question I'd like to ask for you next is, more importantly, how many referrals did you give to another Maryland Heights Chamber of Commerce member? So if you would, please pull out your text message application on your phone and answer this question, please. How many referrals did you give in the last month to a Maryland Heights Chamber of Commerce member? So one person says 0. 2 people say 1 to 2. Isn't that interesting? This is in the last month. Here's the key learning point right here. Building relationships is about the giving, not the getting. So this whole program, this whole 20 minutes is designed about how you can give better referrals in a way you never thought of before in order to be able to increase your business. If you're excited about it, please say yes. Yes. All right. Because here's what I want you to understand. It's the power of what's happening online, whether you realize it or not. Now, if you take a look at your different social media connections that you have right now, whether they be Facebook friends, they're Twitter followers, whether they're LinkedIn connections, You might understand the power of it if you've been using it already. So here's what I'd like for you to be able to think about, kind of moving forward with this. How many people are in the room right now? 120? Okay, sure. So if we take 100, let's say 100, right? 100 friends times how many friends of their friends might they have? So Mike, how many friends might you have? 100? And then of your 100 friends, how many of your friends might they have?
Facebook?
Yeah, it could be anything. So if you take 100 times 100 times 100, there's a lot of business to be had without necessarily, Samantha, you might not be able to help me, but somebody else might be able to do that. So who is selling you? And I'm going to give you some ideas on strategies on how to do that, and really be somebody who you can help. So here's the 11 ways. I realize you might be eating right now, but what I would encourage you to do is bring out your phone or pick a pen and paper and start to write down some of these things, especially if you see yourself being able to implement them. Number one is send out a printed mail postcard. Well, how would you send out a postcard right now? How would you do that, technically? Would you go to Walgreens and buy a postcard? And then what else do you need to send a postcard?
Go to the post office.
Yeah, you have to go drive to the post office. But what else do you need? You need a stamp, right? Well, now that apps on your phone that you can actually take a picture of your friends or people happy, and then send the postcard digitally from your phone. So let's pretend if me and Andy are hanging out together right now, what I can do is I can bring out my phone and I can take, have you ever done one of these before? It's called a selfie. So now I have a picture of me and him that now I can send him that little paper postcard through the mail. Guess how much the cost of something like this is? It's like $1 per. Now, if you think of stamps, think about how much time it takes to be able to do that, the printing costs, etc. You can't beat the efficiency by printing a paper postcard and sending it out. When was the last time you received a paper postcard in the mail? Raise your hand. Okay, so very few, maybe less than half the room. Next is a social media channel called Foursquare. Raise your hand if you're using Foursquare. Okay, wow, surprised. Very few. Now what Foursquare is a social networking space, very similar to Facebook and Twitter, except you check in wherever you go. Now, here's what I would ask you to do as a business owner, is go onto Foursquare to see if your business has been created for you. Because people can check in on your business and kind of claim your business for you, whether you realize it or not. I'll never forget, I was in a hotel room a couple of years ago. And in this hotel room, on the floor, by the toilet, I saw this big cockroach. So what did I do with my phone when I saw the big cockroach on the floor? I took a picture of it. And then what did I do? I checked in and added it to the hotel. Now, I did that because I thought that was pretty funny, but didn't think the hotel did. Maybe not. I just pulled up the Creveport County Park as an example of where you can check in, just as an example of a business. Now, here's the critical thing, and this is going to be shown on some other applications, not just Foursquare, is you can add in tips or you can add in reviews. Now, I don't know if you can see this in the back, but this is what people are talking about your business, whether you realize it or not. So I'm just going to read a couple of these to you. If you like to rollerblade, Creveport Park's trail is the flattest I've found and scenic as it goes around the whole lake and beach. If you're biking, check out the part that connects to the Katy Trail. That's a good tip, isn't it? Yes or no? Yeah, that's a good tip. Watch the sunset. And look, there's even a picture of the sunset. And then here's my favorite right down here. Watch for all the idiot bikers who think they are training for the Tour de France. Now these are real people that are posting real reviews and tips on your specific business. And if you're a business owner, are you aware of it? And if not, how do you get in control of it? I'll give you a couple different ideas how. Now, one quick way, if you have given a referral or if you've done business with another member of the Chamber of Commerce, is to write a Google review. Write a Google review. In fact, what I would do is I would go to a site, I'd write this down, if you haven't gone to it before, is google.com/places, and check to see if your business has been created for you. If not, maybe customers have and have written reviews about it. So what I did is Neil House and Neil, Bruno's in the room. Everybody say hi, Bruno. I just met Bruno last month. He took over my books, and so I wrote a nice little review about it. Okay, and you can see, 5 stars. I mean, his firm did a really good job, and you can see it right there. Now, here's the benefit of it. If your business is on Google Places, it will help you rank higher in the search engines, especially from the mobile device. Also, the more reviews that your business has, the higher SEO that you receive. So if you really want to do a fellow chamber member a service, and maybe you've done business with them in the past or you referred them business, write them some reviews because they will not only appreciate it, but it'll also help them with their search engine optimization. If you think that's cool, say cool. Cool. Yeah, it's pretty wicked. Also now with Google, you can do some fun things by giving away gifts if people visit your office. This is something that I just put up recently, that you get a free iPad stylus when you come by the office and say hello. And I'm just right across there in Westport Plaza. So does anybody use an iPad? And do you have one of these? Or do you need one? Who needs one of these? Who needs one? Okay, here you go. There's one right there. So that way you don't have to come by the office. Actually, you know what? I need that for the rest of the presentation. Don't let me forget. So also what I did, just to be nice, because I'd already done it on Google Reviews, I went on to Yelp and I wrote a review. Now, right now, there's only one review, so Bruno and his team has some work to do. But here's a challenge that many business owners face, especially if your business is run from a physical location. One of his assignments to do is go on and claim the business. So in other words, what's happening right now is on Yelp.com, consumers are posting reviews about your business, whether you realize it or not. Some may be good, some may be bad. And what does it hurt your does it hurt your reputation if someone posts a negative review that you don't know about? Yes or no? Yes. Yeah, so it's a pretty serious thing. So something I would recommend to his team is go on, find his business, and then click on Claim Business. The link to go specifically to go check this out is go to yelp.com/business to go ahead and claim your physical location. Then even you can add in photos, etc. The more people are making decisions based off of these type of review sites. Yeah, please. Oh, you're giving me time. Okay, good. Got to keep moving forward. Number 7, make a LinkedIn introduction. So right here, if I type in financial planner, you can see who pops up, and then you see some of the folks that are Maryland Heights members. Mike LeBlanc, you popped up. Where's Mike? Everybody say hi, Mike. Hi. Yeah. So part of being connected is when you do a search for the people who you specifically need, they will help you. And here's the beauty of it. Now that you have someone's business card you met from the Maryland Heights Chamber meeting, if you type it in as an email right here, look on the right-hand side what pops up. It shows his name, it shows his phone numbers, it shows his Twitter URL, it shows that he's on Facebook, and it shows that we're already connected on LinkedIn. Now, how did that happen specifically? Like, how did that happen? Sometimes you think about, like, to search all these different sites to be able to connect with people. No, the answer is no, you don't. Depends on what email do you use. Do you use Outlook or do you use Gmail? Now, if you use Gmail, the tool is called Rapportive, Rapportive, Rapportive. Pretty neat, right? Do you think that's cool? Say cool. Pretty wicked. Also, something to think about is when you meet somebody, do you have some sort of extra value you're able to share? I can give you specific examples. In fact, we might not have a chance to get through all the different slides here, but would you like a copy of all these slides from this presentation? If you do, say yes. Yes. Okay, perfect. What I'd recommend doing is taking out your business card, pass it into kind of the center, and what I'll do is when I get back to the office, I'll email you a copy of all the different slides. And that way you can forward it on to your team members, etc. And what's the cost of being able to do that? For me to be able to share all these slides and everything? Yes. Just the time. Zero as far as investment. Now the tool that I use to share this is called www.slideshare.net. Raise your hand if you use PowerPoint. Excellent. Who's benefiting by the PowerPoint sitting in your computer right now? Nobody. Why are you being so selfish with your PowerPoint? I mean that jokingly, right? But really. Normally, if we had time, we'd have everybody get up. We do video testimonials to be able to practice. Also, it's very similar language you can use when you're requesting LinkedIn recommendations. Here's what I would write down, or here's what I would think about whenever you're asking for a testimonial or recommendation. This is the language, like David, can you help me with this? Okay, great. So here's what I would say to them. Can you share with me the experiences you had working with me so that way other people can benefit from that? So the key language is, can you share with me the experiences so that way people will go into a little bit more detail rather than just say, oh, it was great, it was amazing, we enjoyed it. So here's the recommendation I wrote for Mark. Is Mark in the room?
No.
Okay, we'll skip over it. Now sometimes, weather permitting, you might not be able to meet somebody face to face, right? Raise your hand if you were snowed in the last week or two. Okay, perfect. So how do you have some of these meetings when you're not necessarily physically present, right? So three different tools that I use on a regular basis. One is called Skype. And I've got all these different slides and presentations and resources on how to do these things. And, you Google and you have YouTube to be able to figure it out. The one tool that I would recommend downloading or checking out is called join.me. So join.me, like not joinme.com, join.me. Have you ever been in a situation where been with somebody on the phone where you emailed them an attachment and they told them to scroll up, scroll down, scroll up, scroll down, scroll up, scroll down? You're trying to demonstrate a website that people couldn't see. I mean, this is great for attorneys, for accountants. This is great for real estate professionals. This is great for anyone who does IT or customer support. What Join.me is a free tool that allows you to share your screen kind of with a little bit of tech support involved with it. Also, a great way to be able to kind of use technology to your benefit is the lost art of the thank you note. Now, where do you go have your thank you notes made? Now, I know it's really easy to be able to go to Walgreens, right? Go pick up a stack, but why not be able to customize? One of the things that I do is I go to this tool called Shutterfly.com, and I have my personal thank you notes customizer designed, and even on the inside, you can even add in some additional features. Now, the last thing, this deserves a big drum roll. Number one thing that you can do for your fellow Chamber of Commerce members as a way of giving and not taking is to give them a hug. You would please go turn to your neighbor, give them a hug. Don't get too close. You might not know them. Oh, thank you. Thank you. But really what we're looking at is this Chamber of Commerce is a family. It really is. It's an organization where we all look out for one another's best interests. We give more than we take. We give our time. We actually ask people, who can I refer you to? Who is your perfect customer? How can I make that specific introduction? The beauty now is with social media, LinkedIn, it's easy to be able to make some of those introductions. And I'll never forget, this was March 17th, 2009. My nephew Dante Devitre was born. Very special, right? The uncle for the very first time. So what did I do? I took my video camera out when the baby was born and I filmed it. Right? What? I mean, it's really exciting. Wouldn't you want to film that experience? No. Wait a second. Not the live delivery of the child. No, like the waiting room. I interviewed my mom. Says, it's Grandma Tammy. We're so excited. My dad said, it's Grandpa Soli. Can't wait to play with you. Because I was in real estate at the time, I said, hey, it's Uncle Doug. Now's a great time to be born. And we have the $8,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers. Interest rates are all-time low. So now's the time to be born. I took those videos, I put them together, I put them on YouTube, I put them up on Facebook. And here's the interesting thing that happened. My friends commented on the video, right? My family commented on the video like you would normally think. But the people I was doing business with, they commented on the video. Even the people I want to do business, they comment on the video. And that's when I understood the power of social media and technology, and the things that I'm talking about is that commenting shows that you care. Taking a proactive interest in somebody else's life. Because like Dale Carnegie says, you can create more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than 2 years trying to get other people interested in you. Commenting shows that you care, so when you see, you start to share. Take the time to comment. Be involved with people's personal lives. Thank you again for allowing me to present and share some ideas with you. Hopefully, see you next year.
Thank you, Doug. That was awesome.